events in stable CAD patients. So heart rate monitoring in stable CAD, Dr. Vivek Gupta. Yes, sir is there.
The slides. Good afternoon, everybody here. After 2 years of gap, we are having a partial physical. I'll not waste too much time. We have a good crowd, I would say, still, despite the COVID and Omicron. So the topic is heart rate monitoring and predicting imminent CV events in stable care, but I'll try to cover as quickly in all other areas as well. So I work in Apollo Hospital, New Delhi, and thanks to CSI organizers to give a very good environment ambience despite the fear. So heart rate monitoring and predicting imminent CV risk. The introduction is heart rate is a familiar and accessible clinical variable. Is something, this topic is not that exciting, but I will try to make it a little more exciting because when I got this topic, I was little fabuled what to do. So importance of heart rate as a prognostic factor and potential therapeutic target has not been formally explored. The studies have shown that fast heart rate is associated with high blood pressure and metabolic disturbances and is a strong precursor of hypertension, atherosclerosis and cardiovascular event, irrespective of whether the patient has pre-existing CAD or not. That means even in healthy men. Subjects with tachycardia often also exhibit increased plasma insulin overload and higher hematocrit. So the topic will be covered in something like in 3 subsets: healthy men, stable CAD, and also in heart failure and after acute MI. Topic we had 2007 heart rate risk assessment global trials, which was taken in Copenhagen Risk Score and European Score project. Global Registry of Acute Coronary Event Risk Prediction Score, and this was studied at that time. I'm not going to detail of this study, but another study in hypertension published in 2012, prognostic value of variability in home measured blood pressure and heart rate. This is FIN-HOME study, and they had measured morning day by day home heart rate variable predicted CV events. Morning evening home heart rate variability was predictive of CV events. The association between the higher morning day-by-day heart rate variability and CV events may reflect as well as greater hemodynamic instability because of impairment in cerebral autoregulation. So this was actually the final conclusion. I'm giving the conclusion of those various studies. 2012. Morning home heart rate and the percentage risk of cardiovascular CV events at various blood pressure. And you can see in this slide, as the heart rate is going up, and with all the levels of blood pressure, there is an increased risk of cardiovascular event. This was FIN-HOME study in 2012. Coming on to 2008 study in hypertension, and that is day-by-day variability of blood pressure and heart rate at home as a novel predictor of prognosis. Day-by-day variability of blood pressure and heart rate at home as a novel predictor of prognosis, and this is known as OHA-SAMA study, not Obama. It's OHA-SAMA study. So prognostic value of day-by-day BP and heart rate variability in 2,455 patients were monitored. And heart rate variability was associated with the increased cardiovascular and cardiac mortality and with the statistically significant. Published long time back in 2008. And this is the flow chart of this, the same thing that there is increased cardiovascular and cardiac mortality as the heart rate and blood pressure goes up. And this was 3,000 patients approximately. It's an important study published in 2008 in hypertension. American Journal of Hypertension again. Framingham study data as legacy continues. Heart rate variability in hypertensive patients. Very important. Follow-up. 36-year follow-up of the Framingham study. 36 years. Association of heart rate with mortality rate among 2,000 men with hypertension. And they found as the heart rate was going up, there is an increased risk of cardiovascular mortality as well as the event. Sorry, mouse is not... So there is increased risk of CSD, CVD and all-cause mortality. As the heart rate is going up, 36 year of follow-up from Framingham study. Heart rate and mortality in healthy men. New England Journal of Medicine 2005. Relative risk of death from any cause, non-sudden death with myocardial infarction and sudden death from MI by quintiles of resting heart rate in 5,700 patients. Men without known or suspected heart disease, non-CAD patients. And they found that with the increasing heart rate, the relative risk, all cause, non-certain MI and certain MI, all three are increasing as far as the mortality is concerned by these events. New England Journal of Medicine, important article. Heart rate and mortality in coronary artery disease patients, European Heart Journal, 2005. Relationship between hazard ratio, that the patients who are CAD patients. What is the relationship between the heart rate variability and of course the risk of cardiovascular events and death. Relationship between hazard ratio and resting heart rate for all cause and cardiovascular mortality in 24,000 patients with suspected or proven CAD. And you can see in this overall mortality and cardiovascular mortality is increasing as the heart rate is growing. You can see from the diagram. Hazard ratio is increasing as the heart rate is going up in these subsets of patients of proven or suspected coronary artery disease. The mortality is directly related to heart rate as such. This is what the same thing. The heart rate increment and hazard risk. All cause and cardiovascular mortality and cardiovascular rehospitalizations were increased with increasing heart rate. Very high statistical value, 0.0001. Heart rate reduction. What is the possible benefits? I mean, this is how this was also studied, but that was long time back in 1999. British Journal of Clinical Pharmacology. Relationship between the improvement in time to myocardial ischemia during bicycle exercise and the reduction in exercise heart rate achieved in stable angina patients after treatment with 2 doses of 3 different calcium channel blocker and diltiazem. So they just studied that how the benefits happened, especially in CAD patients. Heart rate reduction and mortality after MI, myocardial infarction. We were talking of stable CAD, we have talking about healthy men, we are talking of hypertensive patients, now we're talking of MI. American Journal of Cardiology, 1986, long time back. Relationship between the mean heart rate, mean reduction in heart rate and the mean change in mortality in different randomized placebo-controlled trials of beta blockers after MI. This was basically a placebo-controlled, different randomized placebo. So that means it was meta-analysis. And they found the reduction in mortality as you reduce heart rate. And that was established way back in 1986. Heart rate reduction in mortality in heart failure. So patients who have a low ejection fraction, mostly systolic heart failure. European Heart Journal, 1999, a very old heart rate reduction in mortality and heart failure. Relationship between the mean change in heart rate and mean change in mortality in studies of patients with chronic heart failure. And they found various studies like Profile, Promise, Valhep, Solve, Consensus. In all the studies, most carvedilol, US carvedilol study, they found that heart rate reduction and mortality in heart failure. That means if you reduce the heart rate, the mortality is significantly reduced in the patients who have systolic heart failure. Heart rate and heart rate variability in CAD patients with and without new CVD. Very recent article 2019. 2019. Heart rate variability in CAD patients with and without new CVD. So they studied only 44 patients with angiographically documented CAD with Artemis study, measured RR interval on a weekly basis at home for 2 years. 2 years follow-up. Home measurements were performed in controlled conditions. 11 patients had CV risk. For the patient with new CV, let me go to the results. The conclusion of this study, day-to-day variability of mean RR interval is greater before the new CV events in CAD patients, suggesting to a more unstable cardiac autonomic regulation preceding these events. I repeat, day-to-day variability of mean RR interval variability is greater before the new CV event in CAD patients, suggesting to a more unstable cardiac autonomic regulation preceding these events. That means there is unstable cardiac autonomic regulation leading to increased heart rate, and that leads to higher events. So day-to-day, same thing, day-to-day variability of mean RR interval is greater before the new CV in CAD patients, suggesting more unstable autonomic balance preceding the event. If confirmed in large sample size, home heart rate measurement may become a simple and useful method of providing information on the risk of imminent CV risk in patients with stable CAD. Heart rate independent causative factor of merely or epiphenomenon. This is a thought process which was discussed long time back. Relatively high heart rate often is found together with other CV risk factors, notably hypertension, dyslipidemia, diabetes, insulin levels, overweight. Heart rate correlates with the number of cardiovascular risk factors presenting in an individual. More recent studies showed heart rate still independently predicts risk with adjustment are made for accepted risk factors. So is there an optimal heart rate? Optimal heart rate. Heart rate at rest varies widely, but a pattern of distribution seems to exist. Paltini et al. Show the segregation value between the subgroups varied between 75 to 85 beats per minute in different populations. Epidemiology data shows to maintain heart rate in a normal range rather than in high range, and specifically to maintain the resting heart rate substantially below The resting heart rate is very important, and that should be substantially below the traditionally defined tachycardia. What is the way forward into the future? Current data leave little doubt that heart rate is a risk factor for CV mortality, independent of currently accepted risk factors and other potentially co-founding demographic and physiological characteristics. However, until now, it has been difficult to determine whether modulation of heart rate can be beneficially alter the risk. Recent data suggests that improved understanding of relationship between heart rate, its modification, and CV health is important and potentially beneficial for patient care. To realize this benefit, awareness of potential importance of heart rate must be enhanced. The final summary of this talk is resting heart rate is a simple measurement with important prognostic implications. Previous epidemiological study demonstrated the high resting heart rate is a strong predictor for total and cardiovascular CV mortality in healthy populations. And of course, in stable CAD as well as after MI and as well as after heart failure, with heart failure patients. Patients with high resting heart rate are prone to more rehospitalizations for cardiovascular reasons, independently of major risk factors. Resting heart rate is a predictor of total mortality, and CV disease should no longer be neglected in risk flow charts. Whenever we say what are the risk factors, the patient should also be told, and awareness should be made to the patient that you have to keep on measuring your basic or resting heart rate, because if the heart rate is higher, resting heart rate is higher, you are prone for more CV risk. But what to do and when to do, this is a physician to decide whether he would like to give beta blockers or ribavirin or something else, or just an exercise so that the patient's vagal tone is improved so that he does not have a higher resting heart rate. This is the physician to decide, and that has to be individualized, of course, on the basis of the patient, otherwise clinical, whether it is stable CAD or unstable angina or heart failure or acute MI. So whether what medicines have to be chosen has to be individualized as per the requirement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vivek Gupta sir, for that nice talk. The one who races ahead too much has to stop early. So that's the basic message from this.